You wake up, check your phone, grab a coffee, go to work, make payments, scroll, sleep. Everything feels legal. Everything feels normal. And yet, beneath this ordinary routine, a second economy hums quietly, unregistered, uncounted, and largely unseen. It decides who really gets paid, who avoids taxes, who bends the rules, and who lives entirely outside them. This is the shadow economy, not a criminal underworld hidden in back alleys, but a parallel system woven directly into daily life. It doesn't overthrow governments. It simply operates where governments cannot fully see. And in many countries, it is no longer the exception. It is the rule. The shadow economy is as old as taxation itself. Wherever states imposed rules, people found ways around them. From black markets in ancient empires to smuggling networks under colonial trade monopolies, informal exchange has always followed formal power. In the 20th century, the phenomenon expanded dramatically. Wars, inflation, rigid labor laws, and rapid urbanization pushed millions into informal work. In the Soviet bloc, shadow markets filled shelves the official economy could not. In post-colonial states, informal trade became the backbone of survival. Economists once believed modernization would eliminate these systems. As economies developed, formality would replace informality. But the opposite happened. Globalization didn't erase the shadow economy, it professionalized it. The first major shift came with globalization. As supply chains stretched across borders, enforcement weakened. Goods moved faster than regulation. Money moved faster than oversight. Then came financial liberalization. Offshore banking, tax havens, shell companies, and complex financial instruments created legal gray zones, spaces that were not illegal but deliberately opaque. The digital revolution accelerated everything. Cashless payments, online marketplaces, gig work, crypto assets, and remote labor blurred the line between formal and informal income. Millions now earn money that exists outside traditional payroll systems. What once looked like survival economics gradually merged with elite financial engineering. Street vendors and multinational corporations began using different tools, but the same logic. At its core, the shadow economy thrives on misalignment between law and reality, regulation and incentive, taxation and trust. High taxes without services encourage evasion. Strict labor rules without enforcement push workers off the books. Weak institutions invite parallel systems to replace official ones. But the modern shadow economy is not just about avoidance, it is about optimization. Corporations shift profits across borders to minimize taxes. Wealth flows through jurisdictions designed to conceal ownership. Informality becomes a strategy, not a failure. According to international estimates, shadow economies account for over 10 to 30% of GDP in many countries. That means entire nations operate with a significant portion of their economic life beyond official measurement. The result is a silent feedback loop. Governments raise taxes to compensate, compliance drops further, and trust erodes. The shadow grows because the system creates it. Today, the shadow economy shapes your life more than you realize. It affects housing prices through unreported income. It influences wages through informal labor. It determines public services by shrinking tax bases. Gig platforms blur employment definitions. Remote work crosses borders faster than regulation. Crypto challenges monetary control. Entire digital economies operate at the edge of legality. Meanwhile, elites and everyday workers increasingly share the same logic. Stay flexible, stay invisible, stay ahead of the system. What differs is scale, not intent. The shadow economy is no longer beneath the system. It is embedded within it.
The shadow economy is often framed as a problem to eliminate, but history suggests something more uncomfortable. It is a mirror. It reflects where systems fail to adapt, where trust collapses, and where rules no longer match reality. People do not choose the shadows out of rebellion, but necessity, incentive, or survival. The question is not whether the shadow economy will disappear. It won't. The real question is whether societies will continue pretending the official economy tells the full story. Because the world you live in is shaped not just by what is written in law, but by what quietly happens outside it.